Good morning, good afternoon, and or good evening. You are watching Nub's Collection, a YouTube series dedicated to the cataloging and recording of every game in my physical media collection. I am your host, as always, Victory Nub. This episode is being recorded on September 8th of 2021, and today we are looking at Space Harrier, released on March 1987, in March 1987. I don't remember a whole lot about this game, unfortunately. There's going to be a couple of games in there that I don't have a ton of memory about, but this is definitely going to be one of them. The most prevailing memory I have of the game is actually what happens when your main character dies, and you got a little taste of that there in the demo that was playing, where the character goes and, let me paraphrase, "Oh! Get ready!" And that's what he does every time that he dies until you lose your final life. He just does that, "Ow, get ready." So what we like to do every time we play a game on Nub's Collection before we actually start it is we check out the story section of the game. So here is what the instruction manual says. And by the way, I actually lost the instruction manual for this game. As a dumb kid, I probably took it to school, showed it to some friends. "Man, check it out, these monsters are awesome. Explosions, flying, dragons." And, yeah, I don't know. I have no explanation for the instruction manual on, because there's a case you could put it back in, so you would think it's not something that you would lose too easily, but this is what I found online for this game. This is under the What's Happening section. As Space Harrier, you must save the land of dragons, that's all in caps, and yourself from extinction. There are 18 waves, or stages, of enemy creatures. You begin at stage 1 and move upward. At the end of each stage, a highly dangerous boss creature appears, and boss creatures in quotes. Destroy this leader of the pack and you will proceed to the next stage. When you have successfully cleared all 18 stages, peace will reign again over the land of dragons. As Space Harrier, you're given 3 lives. A bonus life is awarded when your score reaches 5 million. Ah, that's a high total there. The game ends when you have lost all your reserve lives, or when you have successfully cleared all 18 stages of enemy attack. I think we shouldn't hold our breath about getting that far. What I do remember is this game was hard, so I think we'll find that out in a second here. By the way, interesting story, and we'll get into that as we start the game here. One thing I do remember, I guess I remember more than I thought I did, about this game is that there were two versions of this game, actually, and you do have to mash the button to fire, so. There was a regular version, which was the one that we're playing today, and there was a 3D version of this game. And, oh, watch out. I was always convinced when I was a kid that I actually had the 3D version. So I was, I don't know, lucky enough or capable of finding a pair of 3D glasses at one point when I was a kid to try them out and see if it would work with this game. And for some reason, it just never worked. I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, like I said, I just had the regular version of the game, not the 3D version, so it never actually worked out, but I was convinced, oh, maybe there's a setting I gotta change it to get it to work, and it just never happened. And I'm sure at some point here we're gonna actually see me die and hear the death scream of the main character, so, come on. Get him. There we go. I also am recalling that if you're on the ground here, when you pass one of those low shrubs, your character model just trips over it. Whoa! That's fire. Okay. I think this would have been one of the rare instances where the control stick that I have would have been the preferable controller to use for this game. But again, if I had mentioned it in the past, when you use it, it makes a lot of noise. Like every time you press in a direction, it makes an audible clicking sound. So instead of having just nothing but me jamming on what sounds like buttons. Click, 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 click. Every time I change directions, I figured I'd save us the noise. Those are some creepy-looking monsters. Does anyone actually know what a Harrier is, by the way? I always thought it was like some kind of bird or bug or something, and the game calls him a space Harrier. So I like to think in my head it's some kind of bird type, and they're calling him Space Bird. He's a very human-looking space bird. Oh, here we go. Oh, it sounds a little bit higher pitched than I remember. Should probably pay more attention to the environment than whatever I'm shooting at on the screen. We gotten a million yet? Or am I... Oh, okay. Oh boy, that's a whole lot of these guys. I get real close to you! Oh, game over. I made it to level 2. Let's go ahead and enter my initials, which apparently were good enough for first place because they had absolutely no faith in the people who played this game. They're just a bunch of dumb kids. They can't figure out the gameplay. Yeah, we're going to stay on the ground here and see if I do trip over a shrub when we see it. Ah! Yep, there you go. I didn't pick up any items, but I don't believe there are any pieces of equipment or weapon upgrades that you pick up in this game. You just use the same gun the entire time. Wonder if the 3D would have made any difference in the ability to dodge or at least see and... oh, come on. It would have made any difference in my ability to see and or dodge bullets from the enemies. Because it is kind of hard to tell where the contact point is for objects in this game. Gotcha. Nope, didn't get that one. Looks like both buttons do the same thing, so I can jam on whichever one I want to attack, and it's not going to change what I do. Hey, got him. First pass. Don't have to do that twice. Moving on to Giza. See, we'll make 3 levels this time. Stay out of the way of the big rock monsters. And the creatures that look like gremlins. Can we talk about gremlins for a second? The first movie, while certainly not like a straight-laced horror movie, and it's silly in its own right, nothing like the second movie. The second movie was just bonkers nonsense, and it was the beginning of Warner's extremely glad-handed, self-congratulatory phase of entertainment, where it seemed like every movie or TV show they did was so happy to talk about its other properties. Tiny Toon Adventures and Animaniacs come to mind when I say that, because it just seemed like all they cared about was reminding you that, hey, we're Warner Brothers, and we have a bunch of stuff that everyone likes. And they had to remind everyone about that, which I always thought was strange. And there are a lot of people who were big fans of the show, and will talk very fondly of it, and I just kind of look at that and go, that was a weird phase. And I don't know if I would brag about liking something like that. It would be like today if in every single Marvel movie that Disney releases, you get a constant reminder that, hey, look at these other Disney properties we made. Aren't they awesome? You should play these, or watch these, or whatever. Yeah, just do A. That's right. Now, that said, I probably laughed and clapped my hands like a fool when the second Gremlin movies came out and watched it endlessly. I honestly don't know if I did or not. I mean, in fact, I think there was a part in the movie where they stopped the movie to point out that A, they were watching a movie, and B, it was going to be a huge success or something like that. That may just be what I remember of the second Gremlins movie. What? I get hit by the Stingray. Stingray? Looks like a Stingray. Okay. Like, it'd be just as well served to play keep away in this game than trying to shoot the enemies, because half the time you're in direct line of their fire, so if you're standing there and shooting, you're probably not dodging out of the way of their shots. And it doesn't look like I can stop those oval yellow bullets in any way. Come on, get him! Hey! 5 million points. That is a lot of points to have to get to an extra life. I'd be happy just to make it out of the third stage. It seems to be an ongoing thing in this series, is that I can't get any further than the third stage in any game that we're playing. I have said something about it in the one of the previous episodes of Nub's Collection. Back in the day, I think most games were designed with the idea that they were going to be in an arcade. And if they were in an arcade, that meant you were putting quarters in the machine. And if you were putting quarters in the machine, they wanted to get every last quarter they could out of you. So the game had maybe one level that was fairly easy. But then after that, the difficulty ramped up incredibly fast because they wanted you to keep putting quarters in that machine as much as you could. And unfortunately, they carried that mentality over to home consoles. Probably because it would cost extra money to actually recode the difficulty settings in some of these games. And instead of that, they just leave whatever the default was. Again, that would have made sense if the game actually ever got released in arcade, and I don't know if any of the games that we've played so far have actually ever been in an arcade. They may not have been. In which case, it still begs the question, why were they programming these games to be so hard? Don't they want you to get to some of the lighter stages where they add entire art assets that you'll never see because you can't even get past the second or third stage? And the instruction manual is very explicit. There are 18 stages in this game. We've seen 1/6 of them. And again, I'm an old man, bumbling idiot, can't seem to get past third stage, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe if I was being a little bit more careful like that, we'd get to the third stage, but I don't know. I just I don't understand what the thinking was. Wow, I'm not even going to make it out of the first stage. The thinking was for making a home console release that would never see the inside of an arcade, and then cranking the difficulty up to play like someone was going to be pumping quarters into the machine while they were playing it. Gotcha. I think this is another one of those games like Hang On that we looked at in the second episode, where they had created some kind of graphics system where you could have a scrolling effect on the ground to make it look like you were advancing forward, and they were very proud of that effect. I think there is at least one more game that we're going to be looking at that took advantage of that particular, I don't know what to call it, engine. And, you know, for a game released in 1987, it is impressive, so it's hard to complain about the results. Never mind the fact that it is very difficult to tell whether or not I'm going to get hit by a bullet or not, just by the size or location of it. Uh-oh. Is it just me, or do those all look like drain pipes? Like Super Mario-style drain pipes? Alright, we're gonna give this one more try. I think this is it. We don't get any further in the third level this time, I think we're done. Interesting, they say 1986 on the screen there, but what I had said 1987 is when it came out. Now, it's important to note that some of the release dates that I have are based on when it came out in North America. It is entirely possible that some of these games, even though they say they came out in 1 year, it's possible that they released in Japan a couple of months earlier. So, you know, March 1987 isn't too much further in the future from a Japanese release. It's feasible. This game originally came out in 1986, and we didn't see it in America for 3 months. And as with most of the games on Sega Master System, I believe this one was also developed and published by Sega, so... Oh, wow. Didn't hit him. Come on, guys. Gotcha. Alright, we made it through the first level. Hopefully, we can beat the boss without taking a death. Be a nice change. Also, it'd be nice if I hit him. There we go. And... looks like you have to hit the head. Cool, got him. No deaths. Nice. I think that garbled mess in the lower right corner there of the screen is supposed to be the extra lives. I could be wrong. It's a good example of bad pixel art. If you have an asset that's supposed to indicate something on screen and it is such a jarbled mess, you can't actually make out what it's supposed to be. And is that supposed to be like little pictures of my Space Harrier man? Oh, okay. There we go. This is the one. We're gonna do it. We're not gonna die this time. Center screen, get the ones that are gonna hit me there. Oh, so close. I really wanted to beat this level without dying. Alright, get out of there. I want to fight the boss, not you. Whoa, okay, there are some extra elements I don't remember. Alright. I think I was okay! You jerk. Like, one last F you at the end of it. He was done and he just wanted to screw me over. I don't like that at all. Trees! Can't destroy the trees. Wow, okay. Oh, whoa, hey. I think there may be a strategy here that I'm not employing called running away. In one of the games that we're going to be looking at in the near future, Afterburner, so go ahead and spoil that before it comes up. I actually could never figure out, after a certain level, how to avoid heat-seeking missiles. And that was something that I developed a strategy for, at least in the early couple of levels, for dodging them. And it was very cheese, like the height of cheese in video games. Basically, I just stuck to the left or right, and the missiles would go under me. It only worked for a little while, but it was definitely a strategy that I employed that worked, and as long as it worked, that's all I cared about. And I would like to think there was something more that I was not getting right, but you know, I was a young kid, didn't really notice. Maybe it was in the instruction manual, and because I was stupid, I didn't actually look in the instruction manual to figure out what I was doing wrong. One left, one left, one left, come on. I want to get past the 3rd level! Oh! I kind of like the music here. Hey, did it. Oh, that is a hot mess of color. Ooh. Ceiling closed in on me. And it's over. I didn't get an extra life. Ah, shoot. Okay, as much fun as it constantly is watching me fail miserably in these games, I think we will go ahead and call it there. Boy, that extra life, or the top score screen music is obnoxious. This isn't much better. Let's go ahead and do the good, the bad, and the ugly on this game. The good, again, I think the 3D scrolling looks nice. Obviously, it was still difficult to figure out where exactly I was going to be hit at on the screen. I didn't quite get that part worked out. I don't think the implementation of 3D glasses was going to fix that. It probably would have made you a little more nauseous. But I don't know if it would have made the game any easier to play, but the 3D is still serviceable. The bad, as I said before, very difficult to tell where exactly on the 3D plane an object was going to be close enough to hit you. I don't know if they could have worked that out with the technology that they had available. Just probably was never going to work. And the ugly is that music at the high score screen here, and even the main menu music, is bad. It is grating to the ears. So I don't think we're going to make us suffer through that any more than we have to. Rating on a scale from 1 to 5 stars, I would give this probably a 2. I think it is a very difficult game, and while there are 18 levels of gameplay to go through, I'll never see them because they crank that difficulty up to insane heights, not helped by the fact that, again, you can't tell where exactly something's going to hit you on the 3D plane. But I think that's a good stopping point for this episode of Nub's Collection. As always, I do appreciate you guys coming in to check out these videos. I think we just wrapped up the last episode of Wonder Boy 3, the Dragon's Trap, for the Nubs long play. We do have another long play coming as soon as we get that game in the mail. It is on the way, and I'll explain everything about that when we start that episode up. I did not see this before. This is interesting. There's a saga? Wow, this story was far deeper than what I saw in the instruction manual. I almost want to just sit and let it play. I think the game would have been better if it had the graphics for those little 2D sprites in the background. That sucks. Yeah. Sorry, I'm reading as it scrolls. Interesting. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of Nub's Collection, and I will see you next time.